Hello everyone, welcome to the 120 Q&A practice. We're going to start off with direct examination, so plaintiff will be questioning. Ready? Now, Mr. Driscoll, before this accident, besides the one that you were involved in when you were 10 years old, had you ever been involved in any other accidents where you had been injured? You mentioned something about a tank. Oh, that was in Korea. Did you fall off a tank? Yes, I did. And what happened? What did you do? Did you injure yourself? My neck and shoulder hit the side of the tank. I had cuts and bruises all over my body. Were you hospitalized for that? Yes, I was put in the military hospital. You did suffer from frequent headaches because of that accident, did you not? I wouldn't blame it on that accident. What do you blame your headaches on? Well, I don't know. You were suffering during the Korean War from frequent headaches, weren't you? Yes, when I was out in the middle of the jungle. This was a different type of headache. I don't care what type it was. You were suffering from headaches, were you not? Frequent headaches? Counsel, please don't badger the defendant. Thank you, Your Honor. Did you have headaches before you had this accident when you hit your head on the tank? No, but they followed from this accident with the tank. Is that correct? Yes. Have you been involved in any other accidents besides the ones you have told us about? Well, yes, I lost my finger in an automobile accident, but you already know that. You told us about that. The accident when you were 10 years old. Yes. Any other accidents that you can tell us about? Nothing serious, no. All right. Since your accident in September of 2012, have you been involved in any other accidents of any kind at all? My car was really smashed up. Were you in your car? I was in the car, yes. When was this, please? Oh, let me see. Oh, I've forgotten. It was a brand new car, probably about 1 year ago. And it was totaled? No, this guy, he's the son of the mayor of Topeka, Kansas. Anyway, his pickup was parked on a slope without the emergency brake on. It got away from him. I was coming from the post office and I just stopped at this stop sign, just started up, and the pickup smashed into my car. Were you injured in this accident? No, just the car. Is the answer no, just the car? Yes, just the car. His pickup had more damage. Was this accident sometime this year or last year? Let me see. It was in January of this year. Was there a driver in this pickup truck, or was it driverless? He said that I ran into him. Can you imagine? Was there a person in the pickup sitting behind the wheel? No, there was no one in the automobile. It was driverless. Did you receive a citation for this accident? Yes, I did. Did this accident occur since you have moved to Kansas City? Yes, because I had come to Topeka to see the doctor, and my brother wanted to come home by way of his place. That seemed to be fine with me because I had friends in Topeka I could visit. On my way to my brother's, I went to the post office, and that's when it happened. That was after you had moved from here to Kansas City. Is that correct? Yes. And how did that pickup hit your car? Was it head on? Yes, right. Right front grille and headlights and fender. The front of the pickup hit the front of yours. Is that right? The front of his pickup. The front of his pickup hit the front of your car? Yes. Was he going the opposite direction from you? His car was going forward. It was like a head-on collision, only I was starting to stop. All right, how fast were you going at the time? 30. How fast was the pickup going? Oh, I don't know how fast it was going. I was trying to avoid the impact because several people were yelling at me to get out of the way. It wasn't going fast? How fast? He couldn't have been going very fast, maybe 10 or 20 miles per hour. Excuse me, when you say he, do you mean someone was driving the truck? Well, now, there was a little argument there that I lost. I said that he was backing out, which he was doing. But he wasn't in the truck, was he? No, he was. He just walked into the mayor's office to see his dad, and evidently he didn't set the emergency brake. Did you hit the steering wheel or hit your head on any part of that car? Yes, I hit my head on the windshield and broke it with my head. Okay, we'll switch transcripts. This is more of some medical from a psychologist. Here we go. Now, this is not exactly an unusual phenomena that an individual take the fight with the lip. An individual gets involved, he is drinking pretty heavily, gets involved in a fight. The next morning he wakes up and has a busted lip or sore hand or whatever. This is not an unusual experience for an individual who has been drinking a little heavy. You mean the injury or the amnesia? The amnesia. The amnesia is quite common in a person where there is a long history of drinking. You don't get this when you just begin drinking. And this amnesia doesn't necessarily mean that the individual, at the time he is in the fight, does not have an awareness of what he is doing, that he is involved in a fight. It deals with the recall factor of the brain, doesn't it? Yes. So that the person can be acting in a situation where he has full or he has awareness of what he is doing, and then the next day, for some reason, the brain does not function to put this recalling information in the brain. That's correct. There also is another possibility, isn't there, doctor? I'm thinking of a situation where perhaps a person does something untoward or improper, and as he has been drinking pretty heavily, and the next day he prefers not to remember those events. Perhaps you, as a doctor, could get him talking about it. Or maybe he just won't talk about the events at all, and it's somewhat conscious, a conscious effort not to recall. Have you had experience where people have done that? It's quite common to have what we call retrograde confabulation, where one has an area of amnesia and then fills it in because we just can't tolerate having an area of amnesia, and they make up and figure out what should have happened. Is there also the other possibility where the person, if some information is given to him, starts to remember the party and the incident, but he refers or prefers not to talk about it? Is there a possibility of a recall that may be hazy, but he just as soon not discuss it in full detail with anyone? It's embarrassing. This is a possibility, yes. So we are dealing with the recall function of the brain versus the awareness function when we are talking about amnesia. Is that correct? Yes. As far as his telling you that he didn't remember getting the gun and getting ammunition, you put this down as a situation where he was having amnesia about those facts? Yes, I did. You accepted that statement as being true? Yes. Okay, and that concludes our Q&A for the 120 class.